Man, watching that hand go up in the back, really nervously asking me a question at the end of a workshop, almost made me cringe. Where do I buy prompts? After teaching people about generative AI, I had to help them figure out just what the data part was, giving AI insights and information to frame the question so you get a better answer. Because generative AI determines patterns. And how do you get better responses? You start with your why, the data behind your prompt. And in business, that means customers. Clearly communicate their purpose, their actions, their behaviors, and it gets smarter. AI starts learning from the data we collect or generate. And I realized people didn't connect how we get that data to putting it into AI. So in this episode, let's do like a live class. I'm going to show you 3 examples, real examples of funnels that people have created to be able to get information and be able to use this to better target and to use AI to its full advantage. Let's get started. Now, this first example is HelloFresh, a customer profiling example. They sell meals, and they first asked me my preferences, meat and veggies, along with 4 other choices, how many meals per week, and how many number of people. Think about that segmentation. That's data. That's information that becomes associated with my account as I set it up at HelloFresh that they can then use to personalize messages to me, to be able to make sure they recommend things I like to eat and cut out the guesswork and allow AI in the background to tag it, to be able to put their lists into various segments so that when they send out, they will go out based on what I want as a person using their service and not based on guesswork. And what they do is end up sending me an email that I'm showing right now, which shows 10 free meals, and they're designed for the meals that I selected. And you can see that that's what AI first does. A very simple example is customer profiling, using that to get some idea of what to go. That's data. But now let's go a little deeper into a site called Stitcher. Stitcher sells clothing. So first, they have a style quiz to allow me to do product recommendations. They ask me my gender. Then they get my email, of course. They're not just saying, give me your email and we'll just email you. They need the data. They need the data to feed AI to be able to get the segmentation. And they give me $25 off right away as you're watching this now as I give them my phone number. And that phone number goes to the next step. And first, what are the reasons you're excited to try Stitch Fix? Having my own stylus, unique pieces, there are about 8 choices, and they allow me to select the boxes. This is telling them my why. They ask how tall I am. Remember, they're selling clothing, what my weight is. Now, you can obviously skip any questions you want, but think about the profiling they're getting. Now they're asking me what sizes I typically wear, shirts, waists, inseam, blazers, and shoes. All this data gives them exactly an ability to recommend products for me going forward, whether going to their website or emailing me. This allows AI in the back end to personalize, to be able to make recommendations based on me and not based on guessing. And while Stitcher is a really fancy example as we go through this, like they asked me, are you interested in big and tall sizes? No. Choose how you would like your casual shirts to fit, and they show 2 photos, visualizing it. Choose how your button-up shirts fit, visualizing it. Questions I wouldn't ask because I'm not that smart about this. Then it asks me how it would like my jeans to fit, again, all with visual pictures, so I can see. I choose relaxed on each one of these. Same with pants. Notice how this is getting deeper and deeper, but now they get all this information that goes into selling clothing into the database that allows them to make recommendations, that allows them to email me and personalize. And they ask me, does the collar tend to fit when I wear shirts? What about the shoulders? All this data is so rich because now the sleeve length, they're getting so much information on that they know more about me than probably I know about myself. The length of my pants, what fits right. And now they're going to help me discover pieces for my best fit. And they show me the style that they want. And now I'm done the first part of data gathering. Look how quickly that happened. Within 2 minutes, they were able to get an idea and then send me an email. And it says, we're thrilled you're here. Let's create your password. We can't wait to style your first fix. To get started, you'll need to create a unique and memorable password. Even in creating the password, they are making it an experience. Now let's bring it back to what I'm talking about with data. Stitcher is able to get this information, Stitch Fix, and allows me to be a better customer and allow them to know more about me. So when they ask questions, if they uploaded spreadsheets to ChatGPT, if they were using it, they could have an analysis of customers. They could find out which type of customers buy more through behavior, through preferences. This is what data gives you. So when you gather data at a website, you want to do more than just say, give me your email. Ask a few questions, follow up, and do things that give you data that gives you a rich response. In fact, now I'm going to show you the best example from a site called Captivate Me, which teaches public speakers how to reach their audience. They start with a speaker quiz, unmask your voice personality. All my friends who do major millions of dollars of ad buying all use quiz funnels. So your friends would describe you as a natural born, shows me 4 pictures, peacekeeper, debater. I choose peacekeeper. Okay, you've landed the keynote speak. How do you feel? How do you feel before you speak? Emotional content. Now you're going to jump on a podcast and your inner critic, what does it say? It gives me 4 choices. Whatever you do, don't be yourself. Then it shows me a GIF, which represents my relationship and shows me visuals of how I see myself, the psychology. Next question is, you walk into a party, what happens next? Are you social? Are you not? And then what do you think when you hear your own voice? Are you insecure? Are you happy with it? All of this gives you a profile. And which character would you pick to be the masked singer and why? Again, 4 archetypes, emotion, psychology. What do you think the psychology of voice is? It literally asks that and gives you multiple choices. All this is data. This goes into AI where it's able to crank and tag and segment. And then it asks me what stage my business is in. So am I ready to take action before it asks me for an email to do an evaluation of my submission? It's gathering data, but what's getting to do is customize and personalize a response to me that I'm going to show you in just a second here. So immediately from filling in that form, I am given this page which profiles me using that information I just submitted, and they say your voice is what they call the actor. That's a segment. And it gives you information in a sales letter that's personalized to me from what I just put in there. You can buy this off the shelf with AI. This is not something you have to create from scratch. And what's really brilliant about this site at Captivate the Room is the power of your voice, speakers. You're an actor. Now it's telling me, it's giving me an actual response and a video that allows me to know a little bit about what that is. Take a listen.
You're ramped up and everything's great. And I've got my cheerleader mask on right now. And everything is like this because everything is wonderful because somebody told me I should be on and I should ramp it up, especially on video. Okay, that's a giant repellent.
Wow. Doesn't that make you feel like this was written for you, even knowing it's just segmenting you into different pockets that they can then market to you and be able to follow up? And they actually give me your voice mask twin. They say it's Leonardo DiCaprio and Catch Me If You Can, which is sort of funny and allows me to sort of take a laugh. But then it goes into the sales copy. But what exactly are voice masks? So what they did was reaffirm, give me an explanation, which is like a discovery mode. That's what data does. It allows us to automate this, but also to put this into a sales letter along with the struggles. Now it's going into the details of how I might use their product or service and how my voice mask as an actor could be holding me back, costing me in business. They tied in my responses and gave me a response. And you could upload this into ChatGPT as a spreadsheet for all the customers who signed up and say, how many are actors? Do actors buy? That's the power of AI to give you segmentation. That's what you want to do when you gather data, not just write a newsletter and say, give me your email where you don't know anything. This is giving you information. And again, you can buy this AI off the shelf. Then she introduces herself, Tracy. Great job here. Captivate the Room. She shares her formula. She shares her mini course, and it's a call to action at the bottom. After that, of course, I check my email. Your results are here. And in a text email, they write about what I just answered in a little bit more detail, really with links to buy, but it's a value that they're adding to me and a value they're adding to their business. Because when you have data, you're able to do something with that. You're able to know what type of customer I am, and you're able to tailor the messaging, the email, the landing page. If I wasn't the actor, if I was another segment, I would show a different landing page, basically creating 3 or 4 landing pages, 3 or 4 emails. You can even have AI create them and do it. That's the power of data. So now in the workshops I'm teaching, instead of just going into some of the basics, I hope I'm trying to make clearer here what data really does for us. It allows us to actually know the customer, and in any question or prompt you ask of ChatGPT or any generative AI, you need some background, don't you? Otherwise, it's like walking up to a stranger and asking them a question. They have no information, but might look around the room and say, hey, that person does this, which doesn't apply to what you're asking. So these are fun ways to train AI to think of data as something that's going to give you the better response. So if you're writing a sales letter, you want to show several different examples. Recent data, by the way, not old data. You don't want to use 5-year-old customer data. You want to use stuff that's more up to date and trending. You want to use things that are relevant and not duplicating. You don't want to give 2 or 3 examples of the same thing. That's going to confuse AI, unfortunately, and cause it to hallucinate, right? So there's fun ways to train AI. Look at the examples. In the Captivate the Room, the speaker example, it's like interactive storytelling. There's the stories about you, the user, but it's tied into overall speakers and the type you are, where you feel less alone and more identified. But more importantly, you have data as the business to be able to personalize this and address your needs. We might have customer journey maps like Stitch Fix would use, where they take us through filling out a complete funnel of information about sizes, clothing, preferences, that all goes in there. Hey, which ones buy more? What time of year do they buy more? These are the questions you can ask ChatGPT, not just making up stuff and hoping it gives you an answer, but really concrete information. That's where understanding that data is not this weird, mysterious word. It's just information about behaviors, preferences. We might even do role-playing games, simulate customer scenarios, and it's sort of the way Captivate Your Room did, giving me a mask, an actor mask, showing them what I did. And so what we wanted to share here is that we need to go beyond prompts and start with the why. And maybe that's about like consumer business examples I've given here. Maybe it's asking a scientific question and making sure you include specific PDFs, research, and data, websites about what you're doing. But don't throw the kitchen sink at it. Be picky. Be able to pick few pieces of data that gives it an idea that, here's a path. I'm going into the woods. Like the road in the woods forked. I'm taking the path with the data that allows me to get to know more about the customer. And when you're working with generative AI, you want to have data in hand so you can ask the right questions to get much better answers and not rely on luck. It's really brilliant if you use ChatGPT. It's even smarter if you give it a hint where you're going. Start with your why. Why are you asking the question? And what information can you share to get a more specific answer?